Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. If you're a first-time listener, thanks for stopping by. I am your host, Joshua David, and we are happy to have you with us today. I do have my good friend, my good pal, Mr. Al Connigs, on the show here today. Al, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, Josh. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good. Obviously, great week in the markets. Great weather. A little chilly this week, but boy, this weekend
Looking good.
And we're doing the show here. Very, very nice weekend, and that's some of the things that we're going to talk about here today, involving the stock market. Is there some good weekends and there are some bad weekends, but if you know how to trade and invest the right way, they're all great. If you're living in Florida, it's always sunny in Florida, isn't it? So that's some of the things we're going to talk about here today. Online Trading Academy, the sponsor of the show, 25 years teaching people just like you how to trade and invest. That can be for short-term income strategies, but also longer-term wealth strategies. So, Al, as we talked about in the beginning here, I'm going to talk about what's going on currently in the market. The S&P 500 showing a little indecision here this week. It shot straight up here at the beginning of the week, actually in the middle of the week, and kind of retraced a little bit here by Friday. Same thing with the Dow. The NASDAQ is the same. Oil kind of also a little bit of indecision. Last week it was down. This week we're looking like it's going to close close to down or even for the week. So not much movement there. So the pumps are still very expensive. But the dollar is one of those things I keep looking at every single week, and it's showing some major strength. The Fed they say they're going to be potentially raising another 0.75 of a point here next month.
Yeah,
so
possibly even 2 more.
Yeah, so we're seeing more strength in the dollar, which drives the stock market down. Which that old R word is what they keep talking about on TV: recession. Do we have one coming? But we've been talking with a lot of people recently, Al. People are concerned about a recession. That's why we're seeing so many people come to these classes, and I'll be giving away some tickets to a class here, a half-day class, but also a 3-day class to get in the markets and protect those portfolios.
Right.
What do you see going on?
Well, there's all sorts of things going on. You know, I think last week, Josh, I said that this was a skittish market. I'm going to change it. It's really not the skittish market. It's skittish investors, and what they're doing, they're looking for a hope. They're crossing their fingers and they're hoping that the Fed pivots. In other words, instead of raising interest rates, they either reduce the amount that they're raising them by or they stop raising them. So people are looking for a clue. And what they're doing is they're making bets based on things that are, again, opinion-based, which you shouldn't do. And typically they are getting disappointed in a big way. And I think right now, Josh, we are seeing an environment where it's probably the worst time to be an investor, but the best time to be a trader.
Okay. What do you mean
What's
by
the
that?
difference between a trader and investor? Trader typically is looking at something more short-term. If you're looking for additional income, some additional cash now to help out with any number of things in this kind of an environment with the increase in interest rates and inflation. But an investor is more long-term. That's more of kind of that buy and hold strategy that people have bought into. Let's be honest, that's just not working in this environment and is not going to work for some time, if ever again. But if you're a trader, if you are... Excuse me, you got all choked up there.
If you are excited.
Yeah, I'm going to have to slow myself down here a bit. But if you're a trader, these are exactly the kinds of markets that you look for. The big players out there, the big institutions, the people that have all the money, part of the way that they are successful is that they play against the emotions of the public, the emotions of the everyday trader. And that's what's happening now. We see these people hoping for something to happen. And it might even be that some of these big players will throw some money at the market to move it in one direction, knowing that the public then is going to jump in and follow. It's kind of that following the herd mentality that we talked about before. But really what we're seeing the treasuries are really impacting the market in a big way. It's the fear of the Fed raising interest rates, but the 10-year just went up to the highest level it's been since 2008. It's at 4.23%.
Yeah,
still
as of doing the show here, is 4.29 actually. Yeah,
okay,
up a
so
little
it's
higher.
moved up a little bit, and the 2-year is closer to 4.6%. So we still have that inversion, but the bonds are really having a big impact on the market. And one of the reasons is that the higher the interest rates are, the more attractive that looks to people, as opposed to a risk strategy like some of the equities would be. Mm-hmm. And what's also happening, though, is as the bonds go up, the 10-year really has a big impact on mortgage rates. So mortgages right now around 7% for the 30-year. They're probably
22 years, I think they said, or 20 years.
Yeah, and there's a good chance that those will go up more. So why are we in the situation we're in? Well, the bottom line is that we're seeing a result of a Fed being too easy for too long. I remember a while ago, Jerome Powell, and Janet Yellen were saying, well, inflation is transitory. This isn't going to last very long. And we were always saying, and most of the pundits out there were saying, look, this is not transitory. This is going to last for a while. They finally agreed with that, but they're behind. They're way behind. They have some catching up to do, which means inflicting more pain on the economy. That means increasing interest rates. It means more unemployment, which seems contrary to what you would hope to have happen, but that's what they need to bring down the demand that's causing this inflation to go up. So we're going to be seeing these things that are impacting the market for some time. The important thing, as I mentioned, if you're a trader, this is exactly the kind of market that you look for. You couldn't ask for a better situation. We're seeing these moves up and down, sometimes multiple moves in a day. On Thursday, market opened at 400, came back down to negative 100. So that's an 800, 900 point swing there. Those are all opportunities if you know how to take advantage of it. And that's what we do. We show our students how to take advantage of multiple directions, not just one way, which most people invest in, and that's only in the upward movement of a market. That's where they benefit. They're missing out on the downward moves. They're missing out on the sideways moves. That's 3 out of 3 opportunities you have if you're willing to put a little time into education and get the knowledge to be able to take advantage of it.
That's all the key there, Alice, is the education, but the knowledge. One thing you brought up earlier is, the people are hoping the Fed will pivot. Sometimes I think the public doesn't even know what's going on, if you think about that. That's why it's important to know these strategies, not worry about what the Fed is doing, not worry about what the economy is doing, and do what's right for you. And that's what we do at Online Trading Academies. We inspire people to do things sometimes a little bit differently.
Right.
And we have these free classes that we always give away tickets to, but I'm going to do something a little bit different here. We've had a lot of people want to bypass a 2-hour class and come straight to a 3-day class lately. And these, it's kind of like if you want to be a trader or investor, you can call in right now for a 3-day deep dive in the financial markets. All the things we're going to talk about here in the show here are covered in 3 full days. You can call 888-682-6466 for 2 seats for this class. It's normally $200 on the show here today. We're doing it for our listeners for $99. So you can call right now. You can call 888-682-6466. And this is for 2 seats for that 3-day deep dive into the financial markets. Some of the topics covered in their stocks, options, futures, forex, income strategies, but also wealth strategies. So if you know that you want to be in the market and want to get going at a faster pace, you can call 888-682-6466 for 2 seats for a 3-day deep dive class. Coming up next, we're going to talk about more income strategies, but also wealth strategies and how to combat, prepare if we do see a recession. Coming up next. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We'll be right back. All right. I got to erase a lot of that.